Hello everyone and welcome to another video. The last video was a success, which I'm glad is. In my opinion, it's my best video yet. After I finished Yokai Watch 1 Lightning Only before beating Arcanos, I decided to do some other game streams. And I wasn't originally going to do Yokai Watch 2 Lightning Only because I didn't want to replay the game again. One day I thought, you know what, why not? Maybe I was wrong, maybe my opinion will change. My opinion certainly did change, just not in the way I was hoping. Before getting into the run, I'll go over the rules, as there are some new ones here. Number 1. Only using yokai of the lightning attribute. They don't have to be using the lightning technique, they just have to have one. This does mean no restoration attribute yokai, thus no healers. And I'm also allowed to befriend non-lightning attribute yokai, I just can't use them. Number 2. Until I have a full team of 6, if a lightning attribute yokai is available, I must befriend it. This only really applies to the first stream. Number 3. No Crank-Yokai except Select a Coin Plus. I don't consider it cheating, but it's way too luck-based for this, plus the fact that yokai come at level 1. I can get the Crank exclusives from the Infinite Tunnel if I need to, so the Crank-Yokai is pointless anyway. Select a Coin Plus is okay because we get it right at the start when my yokai are level 1 anyway, and there's no luck involved. Number 4. Beat every boss, outside of Psychic Blasters. This is when I consider a Yokai Watch game complete. No Psychic Blasters, as I haven't done it on my main file, and it would be impossible to fight Ruby's Jay and Hardyhound anyway. Well, I have now, but it'd still probably take way too long. Plus, Ruby's Jay and Hardyhound are impossible to fight anyways. Number 5. No trading for obvious reasons. I have a mod that lets me obtain all version exclusive yokai, which I will link in the description, so there'd be no need to trade anyway. Number 6. Chat nicknames of yokai. I'm terrible at coming up with names, so I just get the chat to do it for me. Number 7. No using souls that change a yokai's attribute. This quite literally defeats the whole purpose of the challenge, no matter how you look at it. If I allow the use of the Sparking Soul, I can quite literally use any yokai. If I allow the use of other elemental souls, my yokai will become not lightning attribute, thus quite literally defeating the whole purpose of the challenge. Even if I did allow them, I probably wouldn't use them anyway. Number 8. Daily yokai are allowed. This is once again not a Nuzlocke, and I'm playing on Psychic Spectres. This video will be split into 2 parts considering there's significantly more content in this game compared to the first, and there's no missing footage of the first few chapters. So this video will be the main story, and part 2 will be the post-game. With that all out of the way, let's get into the run. I'm sure nothing bad could ever happen now. Oh boy, I sure don't hope I get transported to a grayscale version of this very area being chased by a Japanese mythical demon. Oh no! I could have never seen this coming. Whatever will we do? I opened the game, started a new file, called myself Matinyam with 1T due to character limits, and began the game. I went with my parents to get some donuts, and chat decided on Spirit Donuts. It really didn't matter what I picked, as like I said, I have the exclusivity removal mod, which lets me befriend all the version exclusives. I returned home, got my bug net, and headed to Triangle Park to meet with my friends and catch some bugs. Hey, this seems familiar. Then I went into this random not suspicious shop that wasn't there before, and got the Yokai Watch, again. I used the Crank outside and found Whisper, and then found Jibanyan outside the fish place. This also seems familiar. I headed back to the shop, and would you look at that, it disappeared. I then found Brushido on a pile of rubbish, and battled and befriended him. It was now time for chapter 2. Whisper gave me some rice balls, but the yokai radar wasn't going off yet, so I headed to Mount Wildwood, beat up a Blockade, and got Ruff from the Select Coin. I got a Select Coin Plus from Mr. E after I took a picture of myself with the yokai cam in Yokai Watch 1, and got Steppa. I'll explain the Steppa lore later. I got my first lightning attribute yokai, Buchinyan, which we decided to name Movinyan. It was then Key Quest time. If you know me, you know how I feel about these. I don't actually mind these first 3, as it introduces you to Key Quests and aren't annoying. For this first one, I gave this guy a Brown Cicada that I already had. I then defeat the Nosers in the next quest titled Matt, Don't Give Up, which doesn't foreshadow anything. I then did the third one, where I befriended Hungrant for this battle board outside the Everymart. The yokai radar was finally working, so I managed to befriend Dumbcap in the catwalk, who we named Mad Hatter. I also tried to get Snaggly in trees in Uptown Springdale, but had no luck even finding her. Luckily, she is found in Breezy Hills, which I unlocked right after going home and sleeping. I managed to get Snaggly here, who we named Snaggles. I talked to Eddie a couple times, waited for Wallcappa, and found Yoink, who I had to follow, and then chased this cat behind the Every Mart, fought Yoink, and headed down into the sewers where I found Swelton, and then returned to Eddie's Mega Watch and ended the chapter. I never really liked these first couple chapters. The first one's okay, but it's basically the exact same as the first game, except with donuts at the start. The second one starts off fine with introducing you to key quests, and I guess just quests in general, but the second half, never really been a huge fan of the whole chasing after the Mega Watch thing. Anyway, I started chapter 3 by going to the school and talking to Mr. Johnson, who gave me the school keys. School keys. Have you ever thought about how weird that is? You trusting some random student with the school keys. Who in their right mind would do that? Why would you ever do that? Like, yes, this random student is requesting the school keys. I'm going to give it to him. Like, what? I then head to the classroom and fought and befriended Baku. Sounds familiar. I then headed home, ate dinner, slept, and went to Timers and More, only to find that Mr. Goodsight wasn't there. I went to Wayfarer Manor to talk to the landlord, and then went to the museum to start more key quests. The first one, I just talked to Diana Gately, cleared a gate of Whimsy, and handed her the gate globes. The second was just setting up an official team with Mr. Stickler. Then it was a fusion quest, where I got Ake first try from the secret byway, and didn't fuse him into pain. I then went to Timers and More, got some medicine, handed it to Mr. Goodsight, and headed home to sleep until night. I then went to What to Find, and got a screwdriver, and... Oh boy, I sure don't hope I get transported to a grayscale version of this very area, being chased by a Japanese mythical demon. Oh no! I could have never seen this coming. Whatever will we do? At least Yokai Watch 3 had Kitty Lumbus and Waper instead of Baku. Never really minded the repeats from Yokai Watch 1, but I think they could have done it a bit more differently. After escaping Terror Time, I went back to Timers and More for a watch upgrade, which gave me access to several new yokai. I got Signable once again, first try as well, from Poles in Blossom Heights, who we named Nibblewat. I then got Komajiro first try from Under Cars in Blossom Heights, who we named Plot Twist. Then Helmsman from the Old Mansion, also first try. I'm getting really lucky here. I sure hope it stays like that for the rest of the run. And we named him Barbie. And that was a full team of 6. I went to the abandoned tunnel to befriend Zachary, but I couldn't do anything without a quest that wasn't available until later. Fishpickable was also available, but just like Yokai Watch 1, I decided not to get him. Per Fishpickable, there's always Yokai Watch 3. I then headed back to school and avoided these capsules while going to the roof. It was now time for the hardest boss battle in the entirety of Yokai Watch. A Gutsy Bones, a boss fight so difficult that you can win just by staying on the target screen and not even moving the cursor. After a very intense battle, I just barely won. This boss is way too difficult for a first playthrough and needs major nerfs. That was a joke if you couldn't tell. You can quite literally beat him with a team of level 1, non-equipped E-ranks with no items pretty easily. That was the end of chapter 3, so I decided to end the stream there. Wait, what? Snottle? I didn't know he could appear there. I started off the next stream by receiving 10 quid, which spent on Spirit Donuts, and then went home to sleep. I then went to downtown Springdale and tried to get Wide Awake but couldn't find him. I didn't figure this out until after the stream, but Wide Awake doesn't actually spawn normally here. You need to encounter Wazat and there's a chance he shows up there. So I just progressed the story by taking the train to Harrisville. I know I've talked about this before, but does there really need to be that many stations? It's just really annoying. Not to mention that no is the default for getting off the train for some reason. Yes is normally the default, so logically, you think pressing A is yes, and pressing B is no, but here, pressing both is no, leading to accidentally not getting off the train and having to wait. I just really hate it. Wait, what? Snottle? I didn't know he could appear there. Anyway, I arrived at Harrisville and entered an exited building, so completely skipped waiting for Grandma. I got to Grandma's house, and it's key quests that are completely pointless and annoying time. Yay! The first one was just a really easy hide-and-seek game. The second one was a sultry one, which isn't actually pointless and annoying, and just required me to get a bamboo shoot. And for the third one, Walkappa asked me to beat 3 Fidgephants, and then gave me a fishing rod to catch 3 carp. I used to really dislike the new fishing system in this game, but shoutouts to Local for telling me that you can use the A button instead of the touchscreen. Use the A button, don't worry there's been spinning for it, but you can use the A button. Hold on, I'm trying that. There's a frog there. So, you can use the A button. You can use the A button? I didn't know this. Huh? How have I never known that? That is really useful information, though. Find the site while fishing at Yoppel. Interesting. I did not know you could do that. Well, change fishing forever, yeah. It makes this so much better. I never fish again in this game, but this saved me so much pain in Yokai Watch 3. I then went to Full Face Rock and unlocked Miracle. I headed to the summit and encountered Palisol, then went back to Grandma's to eat and sleep. I woke up in the middle of the night to beat some yokai and befriend Tungus. I fought Meganyan with relative ease, who you know my thoughts on, and started chapter 5. We started by bussing a rhyme to rewind time. Into the past? Oh, how are we gonna do that? Time stone. Yeah.
Come on, time stone.
Bust a rhyme and rewind time. Alright. In Old Harrisville, I headed to Nathaniel's secret base. Then it was time to go to the station where I befriended Meridox and was now able to go back to the present. I then went back to Present Springdale to unlock some miracles and see if I could find Wide Awake. I couldn't. But it's not because I chose Bony Spirits earlier, because we saw Frazzle. Oh! Of course, great. It's time, yes. It's time for terror. I'm just gonna get hit by gargoyles. I don't care. I'm not waiting for the door to appear. I'm not waiting for the door to appear. I tried to get to the museum at night, only to find that it's locked. I took a quick detour to the school at night to get Motismo for the sports center. I used a strategy of entering one of the rooms with 3 Motismo and continuously battling the wrong one until I befriended him, but it didn't matter anyway since I got him first try. I then got the Gourd Pond Museum Mirapod during the day and walked there at night to get Armsman. We fused Helmsman and Armsman to get Reunite, who we renamed Barbie 2. He was higher level than the rest of my team, on top of the fact he's an A rank, once again meaning Reunite will carry this team for a bit. I gave up on Wide Awake at that point, so I went to the sewers, and even the Shoppers Row Riverbank to try and find Fish Big Bowl, but I had no luck. Maybe it's more than just this game's story in this playthrough that repeats from the first. I ended it off by doing the Infinite Tunnel, where I got 794 yards. I did the Infinite Tunnel in most streams, mainly post-game streams, not only to unlock Malice in the post-game, but also so I can get Crank exclusives if I need to. Before the next stream, as mentioned, I managed to befriend Wide Awake, and also was at so I could nickname Yokai I befriend off stream, when I unlocked the Battle Board and Excellent Tower. I decided it would be a good idea to befriend yokai off stream if it was either taking too long on stream or I left the stream off in a place where I could befriend new yokai, just so it's less boring for the viewer and streams don't last forever. I never really did this in Yokai Watch 1 as all of the tedious befriending happened either before the streams or it didn't take too long on streams. Also, Yokai Watch 2 requires much more befriending than the first game. Heck, I don't even think the first game even requires any befriending. Alrighty then. What do you mean? What do you mean looks like you can't view those? What do you mean? No. What? Oh, are you... It's Hyderabad in this game. It's Tanglu and Yokai Watch 3. You fuse them with Hyderabad in this game. So I did all that for nothing. I started the stream by doing the C rank quest, which involved going to the old mansion and defeating Halsman, Lafalotta, and Slice and Rice. Then going back to Times and More to get the C rank watch. I then went to the school to do a seemingly random quest, in which I just followed treasure maps to different locations in Mount Wildwood. Beating this quest gave me access to another quest, which would let me properly explore the abandoned tunnel and get a Zappery. But that quest isn't available until later, so I just progressed the story by heading to Old Springdale. It was time for more, not terrible key quests. The first was just looking for Bad Smella a few times in the ironworks before battling her. The second was where I talked to Mr. Goodsight, got a Hecapino in the present, and gave it to him in the past. I really wish they added miracles in the past considering how big Old Springdale is, and also because it's really annoying having to take the train every time you need to go to the present from Old Springdale or vice versa, at least before you unlock Miradocks in Old Springdale. The third key quest was where I found Komojiro in Mount Wildwood. I went to the Fox Shrine and accidentally befriended Tublapa, who happens to be Lightning Attribute. Alright. Oh, we get him anyway. Okay, what are we nicknaming him? Okay, I wasn't trying to go for Tublapa, but I guess coincidentally we're getting him. I wasn't planning on using him, but I decided to name him anyway. We went with Kai because my chat was talking about Ninjago. See what other people say. Satisfier. You'll evolve Tublapa into the power of Grublapa. Oh yeah, Grublapa is a thing. Anyway. I do wonder what would have happened if I never ran into this Tublapa. But that's not important for now. Anyway, I gave Komo-san's letter to Komojiro. The train costs £3 per use, rather than in the present where it can be used as many times per day. Which does lead to situations here where I couldn't afford it because I spent all my money on burgers. Since there's no miracle in the past, or place to sell things, I had to grind yokai until I had enough money. I took a quick detour to the end. I took a quick detour to the present. I took a quick detour to the present to stealth. Yeah. I took a quick detour to the present to sell stuff so that doesn't. I took a quick detour to the present to sell stuff so that doesn't happen again, before returning to Nathaniel's secret base. Really? No boss or anything? That's it? Anyway, I started chapter 6 by obtaining the Model Zero, then talking to Hovernyan, and going to the full Kappa statue. More key quest time! Get tangled into all-nighter. Cursed yokai information. Add to the quest menu. Oh, cursed yokai information add to the quest menu. Okay. I thought it added, like, cursed yokai information. Okay. Most of which are fine. Keyword most. I started with a predictable one at the Temple of Virtue. I started with that one as it unlocks excellent tower, so I can get the walls at Battleboard. So I did just that, and we decided to call Wide Awake Insomnia, before fighting Dragon and finishing the quest at the top. I then went and tried to befriend Tenglum at the top of the excellent tower, fused with Insomnia and involvement into All-Nighter. It was a pain, as yokai really spawned here, and it's really annoying with these binoculars since the area is so huge, but I managed to get him on my first try. That I found him anyway. I went to Shoten Temple and... Alrighty then. What do you mean? What do you mean looks like you can't view those? What do you mean? No. What? Hold on. Oh, are you... It's Hyderabad in this game. It's Tanglu and Yokai Watch 3. You fuse them with Hyderabad in this game. So I did all that for nothing. Turns out, when making my notes, I was looking at the Yokai Watch 3 section rather than the Yokai Watch 2 one. In this game, Wide Awake fuses with Hyderabad, not Tangloom. Luckily, Hyderabad's found in the abandoned tunnel, where we were going next anyway, to befriend Zachary. I started the quest, which allowed me to defeat these lead balloons, and use the minecarts. Alright. Well, it wasn't a katana. Take him? No. We already have him. Well, that was the second unexpected befriend of the stream. I befriended Hyderabad here, but unfortunately no Zapper yet. My befriending luck was really good up to this point, getting plenty of yokai first try, but it was clear my luck was running out, though this was nothing compared to what was to come. Okay, you better befriend me, Flushbag. You hear me? You better befriend me. Alright, chat, moment of truth. Of course he didn't. Why would he? Why would Flushback befriend me? You know why? Why would he? Why would there be any possible reason that Flushback would befriend me? Screw this, okay? Off stream, I managed to befriend Zappery and fused Insomnia into All-Nighter. I started by deciding to name Zappery Mr. Frizzle, and replace Nibblewat, as I wanted to prioritise using new yokai over ones we already used in Yokai Watch 1. I continued with the key quest, starting with the Palisol one, where I went to Cicada Canyon, talked to Palisol, and that's it. Then the Nomi one, where I went to Grandma's house and solved Nomi's riddle. It was then the full Kappa quest, which involved battling him, which was easy since he's weak to lightning. Then I got more burgers because I was planning on getting Sergeant Burley. I really like Usapi, yeah, me too. I feel like, yeah, yeah, this is fine. The Obaga is and here we have Obaga, and here we have his natural predator, Sergeant Burley. Here we can see the Sergeant Burley going for his prey, the Obaga. I was hoping I'd climbed the pole enough times, and I made it to the top, but nothing happened. I then managed to get Macho Nyan, which we named Al Macho, who was higher level than expected, and he replaced Plot Twist. Macho Nyan is a really good yokai to have, as his skill is basically the stand, but twice, meaning he can survive on 1 HP twice. I still wanted Burley this stream, so I changed the date forward a day, which is fine as I hadn't done it on this save file yet, and... Sergeant Burley. Feel the burn. Anyway, we're not naming yet. Hold off your names until... What do you mean? Still nothing. I literally needed one more day, and I couldn't time travel anymore as it would mess things up on this file. Not only did I mess up all my other Yokai Watch saves by time traveling, but it wasn't even worth it as I still needed one more day. None of this would have happened if I hadn't forgotten to do it the day before. Little did I know, this was only the second most annoyed I'd get this stream. Anyway, I moved on to the Mermaiden quest, which started at Harrisville School, where I played hide and seek with Toiletta and co, making that key quest earlier even more useless and unnecessary. I then went on the train again, yay, to San Fantastico. Seriously, why is there so many stops? It just makes this take so much longer than it needs to. These stations literally do nothing other than some have robo-yokai, which could easily be moved elsewhere. The chat then started discussing who would be in live-action Yokai Watch movies, similar to recent video game movies. When I arrived in San Fantasco, the weather app said Terror Time was soon. Someone in chat told me that if I do blasters it gets rid of it, so I did. It was quite annoying just trying to die. At that point, I'd rather encounter Terror Time and just get smacked by the Oni. Time to enter Seaside Caves. This quest makes you befriend not 1, not 2, but 3 yokai! Wiglin, Steppa, and Riv. Why? Just why? 1 would have been fine, but 3? It's not like this introduces you to battle boards or anything. What purpose does making you befriend 3 yokai serve? Not just that, but in the very next chapter, they make you come back here to befriend Flushback, so that's 4 whole yokai in Seaside Cave. Remember earlier when I got a bunch of yokai first try and my luck was running out? The only thing keeping me sane was my live chat, casting spells or whatever else they were doing. You all know how long this took me to befriend Wiglin, Steppa, and Riv? Half an hour. I was so tired of this that I just moved on and decided to get Flushback later. Notice that one of these yokai is Steppa. Remember how I mentioned him earlier? Well, basically, I was playing Busters 2 on stream when I decided to talk to Steppa, and he softlocked my game. It then became a running joke that Steppa was evil, and to blame him for everything. Heck, my live chat even made a cult around him. Don't ask why, I don't know either. I felt like Steppa was the cause of this, like I had been cursed by him or something. Anyway, half an hour isn't too bad for a 3 yokai, so I just thought it was a funny coincidence. But still, ridiculous that they even make you do this in the first place. Anyway, I progressed by fighting Cap and Crash, the boss that prevents me from completely hating this quest. Cap and Crash was a fun fight as usual, but ended up being easier, because El Macho was level 30 and he was weak to lightning. I was so glad to finally get out of here. That was the end of Seaside Cave for now. Flushback is only 1 yokai. They shouldn't spend too much longer in there later. Right? Anyway, I returned to Nathaniel's secret base to fight Kinnigan, who I completely wasn't expecting. Oh, what? Kinnigan? Wasn't expecting these guys. Okay. Forgot about these guys. Even though I wasn't prepared, they were pretty easy like usual, despite the rocks. I then did this minigame, which I somehow failed, and ended the chapter. Time for my least favourite chapter. Chapter 7. It starts immediately with more key quests, everyone's favourite. I started with the Jibanyan quest, which is kinda cool, but if you've seen it before, it's quite boring, basically just becoming cutscene skipping and going down the stairs simulator for like a minute, and that's it. I then decided to do what I used to think was the worst quest in all of Yokai Watch, just to get out of the way. This is the one that makes you befriend Flushback, so I decided to do that first. Back to Seaside Cave I went. This is when Seaside Cave started feeling like a living hell for me. 1 yokai, can't take that long, right? A few minutes went by. Must just be getting unlucky. As more time passed, I became more and more frustrated with this stupid Flushback. Chat was barely keeping me sane. Please. Please, Flushback, please. Me with Verdimi Sanma Suspicione in no way. Oh, cool. You can tell I really love this game. You know, this is my favorite game on earth. Especially I love playing through the main story of this game, specifically this chapter and this quest. It's just wonderful, you know. You guys love this game. Steppa has cursed me, yeah. Guess what we're doing? Hi! Hooray! I love this game. Can't you really tell that I really love this game? I really love trying to befriend this yokai. I really love this quest. I really love this chapter. As you can clearly tell. I've never said anything bad about this game, ever. Ah, why did you kill the other one? Poke him, please. Where's the hearts? Wisp, 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 wisp. No hearts. You better befriend me, Flushback. You better befriend me, please. Please. I'm not even saying anything after that. This game. I sure do. You now see why I consider this the worst quest in the entirety of Yokai Watch, and we've not even gotten to the actual quest yet. This is just befriending Flushback. Which you wouldn't do until after you go through all that effort of actually doing the quest. Then you realize, oh shoot, I need Flushback. You have to come all the way back here and do it. Oh, I'm just doing it beforehand. Just because I know I'll need him. Half an hour later, and... well, there he is. You better befriend me, please. You better flipping befriend me. There's two of them. Do not knock out the one of the Flushbacks, please. Please. I beg you. Okay. Spirit this guy, please. Yes. Where are the hearts? Okay. You better befriend me, Flushback. You hear me? You better befriend me. Alright, chat. Moment of truth. Of course he didn't. Why would he? Why would Flushback befriend me? You know why? Why would he? Why would there be any possible reason that Flushback would befriend me? Screw this, okay? I bet you expect me to befriend him there. Nope. I was so frustrated that I ended the stream. Half an hour for a single yokai is insane. And I didn't even get him. Never had I been so frustrated playing this game. When befriending like a rare yokai, for example, I might spend longer. But I'm choosing to befriend this yokai. With these are required, and most people likely won't use these yokai. I decided to spend more time getting Flushback off stream, and eventually I did. I had spent well over an hour in Seaside Cave alone. Safe to say, I never wanted to go back there again. The worst part about this is that this has nothing to do with the challenge. This is a normal Yokai Watch 2 experience. This is required to progress the story. Alright. Most unique yokai skill, I don't know. Oh, I know, wait. Putting going crazy, got VTubers, Sephiroth, Angel, and Ram Dude, and Hazeline is hiring all of them, yeah. I get these yokai skill all or nothing. I thought it was a cutscene. When did I last save? This is why you save. I eventually did manage to get Flushback off stream, as well as Sergeant Burley. Hopefully this is the last befriending I'll have to do. And I did the Infinite Tunnel. I obviously started by naming Sergeant Burley. The chat couldn't decide between Ryan G and Jimbro, so I combined the two and named him Ryan Jim. It was now time to continue what I used to think was the worst quest in the entirety of Yokai Watch. Why is it one of my least favourite quests? First off, the story is basically the same as the worst chapter from the first game, the Wozat chapter. Of all chapters, they chose that one. It then makes you take the train to a couple of random stations. You know how I feel about the trains. You then go to the business tower to talk to Dad, only to find out you need to go all the way back to San Fantastico to befriend Flushback. Honestly, it wasn't nearly as bad as I remember from my second playthrough, which is why I don't consider it to be the worst anymore, but the whole flashback thing made me hate it more. And what did you get from this? The bike. Oh, okay, cool then. Until you remember, wait a minute, what the f happened to the bike from the first game? Did it disappear? This quest was very unnecessary for that. Heck, this whole chapter feels unnecessary, considering it has nothing to really do with what's important to the story. Anyway, rambling's over, for now. I've talked about this stuff before. After beating that quest, I did the B rank quest where I would defeat Chummer in Hidden Workshop, Chanted in a seaside cave, and Ben Tover, also in Seaside Cave. After that, I went back home and went outside in the storm. It was then time to fight Iclone, who wasn't a problem due to Al Macho being higher leveled, and Iclone just being an easier boss. It was then time to move on to Chapter 8. I headed to Old Springdale, talked to Yokai outside the station, and went to Flatpot Plains. I did a poll with my chat and they decided on siding with the Bonnie Spirits. Like I said earlier, it doesn't matter what I picked, as I had a mod which allowed me to get all version exclusives anyway. I talked to Arachnus and defeated the Fleshy Yokai, Daru Macho, Boy Clops, Rhinoggin, Castellius I, Pride Shrimp, Frazzle, Flammer Ice, Scare Sol, and then this happened. Most unique yokai skill, I don't know. Oh, I know, wait. Couldn't going crazy, got VTubers, Sephiroth, Angel, the Ram Dude, and Hazelina's hiring all of them, yeah. Like, these yokai skill all or nothing. I thought it was a cutscene. When did I last save? This is why you save. I wasn't paying attention and had to restart that whole chapter again. Okay, like, all from Seaside Cave. Like, 3 yokai for 1 quest. Wait, what? Chat, are you seeing this? What the hell? What is this glitch? I've never seen this before. Skills in Discord can confirm. That's weird. I've never seen that before. That's really weird, I've never seen that. After defeating all those yokai again, I fought Total Dudes. I know it sounds normal to you guys, but for me it still feels very weird to say Total Dude. Who was doing quite a lot of damage to us, but I managed to beat him and end the chapter. I started chapter 9 by defeating Rayolite, then going to Galleria Boulevard, and then Mount Middleton to start Master Nyada's trials. But before I did them, I went to Simon Zamor, so the A rank watch quest, but decided to save it for later as we were a bit underleveled for it at the moment, so I went back to Nyada's trials. 4 was relatively easy, I just had to catch Nyada in a minute. 5 was the same minigame but with 5 cats hiding instead, and Snaggles finally evolved into Winona. Before doing 6, I had to do the A rank quest anyway, where I went to Nocturne Hospital. On the weather. What is the point in that D rank watch there? There's a D rank watch, and then there's a B rank watch. What is the point in that? To beat Nerd, Garuma, and SP. We were quite tough, but I managed to beat them. Mr. Frizzle evolved into Frazzle, and I headed back to Mount Middleton, and... way too OP. I didn't speak to Mr. Goodside, did I? I just defeated the yokai and that's it. I forgot to speak to Mr. Goodsight, of course. So I went back to Simon Zamor, and now it was time for Nyada's Trials 6, where I fought D Muncher. He did quite a lot of damage, but luckily, so did we. If only D Muncher was a proper boss instead of a regular yokai. When you enter Flatpot Plains to progress the story here, that's when you get locked in Old Springdale, unable to do much. So I stocked up on food items and medicine beforehand. I headed to Flatpot Plains to fight on Fairy and end the chapter, where we were now officially locked in Wicked Springdale, no going back now. Chapter 10 started by being transported to present Springdale, before finally unlocking a Miradox here, so you don't have to take the train to Old Springdale anymore. and then beat up the elite wickets unkind, untidy, unpleasant, and unkeen. It was now at the point where you're supposed to beat Dame Dead Time, so I went to Sunset Manufacturing Co. and saved and ended it there. If you've played this game, you know there's a big difficulty spike here, and you kinda need to grind a bit to stand a chance against the final bosses. So I decided it would be best to grind off stream, as it's pretty boring. I just realized something. We are screwed if she steals our items. Oh no. We are screwed. This is not good. Items are our only way of healing. I grinded quite a bit off stream until my yokai were around level 42. It may have been a bit much, but I'd rather be over leveled than under leveled. I entered Sunset Manufacturing Co. to fight Dame Dead Time. This first fight doesn't matter too much since you can't beat her, but it wasn't too much of a problem. Definitely no pushover though. After she fully healed, went back to fight Kin again with Nathaniel's team, which is one of my favourite parts in any Yokai Watch main story. I just find it really cool. It was obviously just as easy as it normally is though. It was now time for the proper Dame Dead Time fight. My strategy here was to switch to the back so she can level steal the yokai I use less, so I can switch to the front and focus all damage on her with my main attackers. This strategy ended up working really well, and we managed to beat her. I headed outside the station, saved one last time before fighting the final boss, Dame Demona. Dame Demona has the ability to steal items, which she unfortunately did right at the start. Since items are our only form of healing, we just need to hope that she doesn't end up killing the whole team before getting them back. Luckily, we got items back before she did any serious damage. She also guarded a couple times, which I've never seen her do before. It still ended up being a tough fight, despite the fact it wasn't as hard as I was expecting. But eventually... Okay. Boom! And that was the main story done. It's finally over. I don't need to endure any more suffering. For now, anyway. Very fine. Post game is like, okay. Playing the Umbral Beast, third wheel fuse player, sheesh. Okay, alright. But anyway, finally, we have beaten the game. We have beaten Yokai Watch 2. With lightning attribute only, yokai. Just like Yokai Watch 1, I let the credits play while talking to chat. Somehow, I ended up liking this main story less than the last time I replayed it, and I'm not looking forward to playing it again for Nyans Only, which is coming after all these Lightning Only videos. I saved and didn't end the stream there, but I will end the video here, and part 2 will be the post-game. Shoutouts to my members: Help Studios, Ricardo Astley, Markable Twisted Donut Plushie, Fix, Time to Go Bro, Redactivism, CK Max Plays, V10 Master, Yeet, Joe, Unicorn Party, J, Tooster, Astral Whoop, Ghost Warmers, QB the Kitsune Snake YT, and Sandwich Metal. And I will see you in the next one.